NTA, AIT no longer stream our matches live. Enyimba matches, Kano Pillars, all of these games. Nigerians have been asking so many questions. DSTV is one of the big streaming television in Africa that brings football closer to the people in Africa. But of course, we have branches of this company in Nigeria. What happened that Nigerian league, even NTA, the smallest NTA, AIT, don't even show this league?
DSTV is ripping us off here in Nigeria. They're not sponsoring any league here, but they're sponsoring their own league too.
If you're watching South African league now, there's no way you will see a referee being threatened. So by so doing that, you will also want to invest. So now Nigeria, if we keep hiding, apart from watching this match on NPFL TV, there's nowhere again they show Nigerian match. Welcome to EVO SPORTS. Today we're discussing about private investors in the NPFL Nigerian football and comparing them to other African countries, their league, how they are faring, how sponsors have come into other African countries, and why Nigeria NPFL have been lacking sponsors, and why isn't that our league is not being shown on DSTV or on well-known television. Even NTA, AIT no longer stream our matches live. Enyimba matches, Kano Pillars, all of these games. Nigerians have been asking so many questions. They really want to know why, and they have been questioning the NPFL chairman. They have been questioning him, and he has been saying that sponsors will soon come in because StarTime have left Nigeria after 5 years contract that they signed. They only spent 2 years, about 6 billion naira contract. It was terminated. BetKing, although did not really sponsor NPFL, but they came into NNL, which is the second division in Nigerian football league. But of course, to right now, they have left it and they have gone to other African countries like Kenya, Namibia also to sponsor. So why are sponsors falling away? Globalcom as well too was once there, but they left there as well. Bet Nigeria also was once there. This time around, a lot of things have not been really going well. Sponsors are coming in. What are the things stopping these sponsors? If they come in, what do they always see that make them to go back? What are other people seeing that make them not to have come close to come and sponsor? Because we really need these sponsors so that we can expose our Nigerian league players to the world, so that even the Super Eagles coaches can also have opportunity to watch these players from their offices, not just traveling by road or by air or spending more money to go and see. If this league have been broadcasting, if they are broadcasting this league on air, at least we can be able to see it. Apart from NPFL app, that is only where most people watch Nigerian league football, which is very, very bad. This time around, I have on my right hand, Mr. Eto, and on my left side, Mr. Albert. Today, we are discussing about this. So what is your take on this sponsor? Why are sponsors running away from Nigerian football? And what are other countries doing in their league that Nigerians are not doing?
You know, if I may say, sponsors that came into Nigeria to invest in football, when they came in, then they had an enabled playing ground, you know. But along the line, as the economy became worse, they have to leave. Something like Michelin, you know, Michelin is a company that produces tire, but they've been here for quite a while, then they left. Some other companies like that. Now, you're saying, like Bet Nigeria is still here in Nigeria. And I think Bet Nigeria is the one sponsoring Remo Stars, you know, and they are doing pretty well. So, but the other ones, I don't think they have any enabled playing ground. That's why they left. So that's why I think I think it's strongly the economy that is affecting them. When the economy is not good, every other thing, it affects every other thing that comes within.
Mr. Albert, we have the likes of PSL, South African League, which is being sponsored by Nedbank and DSTV. And then we have other small sponsors. And then their league is being shown on DSTV. At least we say DSTV is one of the big streaming television in Africa, or probably even in the world, that brings football closer to the people in Africa. But of course, we have branches of this company in Nigeria. What happened that, looking at this thing, they show Kenyan league sometimes on DSTV. They show Zambian league sometimes on DSTV. And even if it's time match of the weekend, then PSL, at least even their Nedbank Cup, they show almost all of them on DSTV. So how come Nigerian league, even NTA, the smallest NTA, AIT, don't even show this league? What is the biggest challenge that they are facing?
All right, thank you. I like the way you just key into the South Africa and the Nigerian comparison, because I believe they are the two biggest and the largest economy in Africa. Let me just give a quick analysis on the owners of football club now, comparing it to the past, looking at Nigeria and South Africa. Now, we have few people that are so interested in Nigerian football now, the growth of Nigerian football, if not for the fact that there's no enabling environment. We have somebody like Kunle Soname, the owner of Bet Niger, who as well is the owner of Remo Stars. We have somebody like Shola Akinlade, which is the owner of Sporting Lagos, a co-founder of Paystack. We have somebody as well like Adewumi Ogunsoya, who is the owner of Sporting Lagos. Of his blessed memory, Ifeanyi Uba bought out Gabros International of Inewi, and he changed the name to Ifeanyi Uba FC. We even have somebody like Davido Adeleke, the popular musician that that established the 30BG Sports Club, which aims at developing young talent to compete at the highest level. We still have somebody like one woman like that, Dorothy Nemeka, but no, though she didn't buy a club here. No, she didn't buy a club here. It's in Portuguese. It's in Portugal. Yes, accepted. But in her own regards, I think it's because she sees that there is a political, should we call it political tussle here, that she feels if she invests in Nigerian football, she may not be able to generate or to achieve her own objective. Now, backtracking to the old Nigeria between the 70s and the 80s, we have somebody like MKO Abiola, who has Concord International of Abeokuta and as well as Abiola Babes. We also have people like Israel Adebayo, who's the superstores, the great stores of Lagos. We still have somebody like Lekon Salami, who was the patron of Shooting Stars. You know, Shooting Stars is a dual ownership, owned by the state and as well as an individual. You know, it has taken a lot of transitions from WNDC, Western Nigeria Development Corporation, to IICC, which is a Industrial Investment and Credit Corporation, before it became Shooting Stars. And we still have other private companies known as Leventis United. You get what I'm trying to say? We have GIB Rocks as well. We have Niger Dog. A lot of clubs, countless number of them that have been here in Nigeria. Even at that time, there was government participation, there were private participation, and the league that time, in our matches, I was a very little boy when my uncle used to take me to the pitch that time. There is no seat in the stadiums. When you get to the stadiums, there is no seat remaining in every match you go to watch. Even standing, security need to fight tooth and nail to ensure that people don't encroach the lines and get to the pitch. Now, let's look at comparison to a country like South Africa. Let's not forget, before now, South Africa has a team like Kaizer Chiefs, that was founded in 1970 by Kaizer Mutang, a former Orlando Pirates player. We have people like Orlando Pirates, established one of the foremost club in South Africa, founded in 1934. We have like Witbank Black Aces in 1971. We have Mamelodi Sundowns, founded in 1970. But presently now, after that era, we have people like Sundowns, owned by Matthews Mosepe, who brought another architecture into the team that's giving them the flair they have today in modern football. We have Lamontagne Vile Golden Arrows, owned by Mato Madlala, and we have the Super Sport United, owned by the family of Gatwin Mackenzie, and we have Lerumo Lions, owned by Siyabongeli Marunana. Now, let's put it into a cohesive whole. In the 70s and 80s, that we make comparison to in Nigeria, Nigeria was thriving very well in football, but South Africa, they were going through the apartheid age. That apartheid era that they were later freed from in the 1990s by the ruthless fight of Nelson Mandela and other freedom fighters and few other countries that involved. The South African League were actually racially segregated, in which the states actually control the league, segregating the people based on their racial history for them to play their various leagues, bringing what they call it the state league policies. Are you getting the picture? Now, at that point, there were only 3 leagues that was existing. The National Professional Football League, that was only dominated by black players. The National Football League, dominated by only white players. And the Federation Professional League, by mixed Indians and other races in South Africa. Now, between 70s and 80s, 2 decades down the line, they now had the freedom in South Africa in 1990. Within this period, Nigerian league was thriving well, we're playing well and all of that. But the question now is, why are South Africa taking 5 million miles away from Nigerian league by virtue of development, by virtue of involvement, by virtue of the football itself, but from national team to other age cadre? It's a very, very questionable thing. It shows a very big degree of the involvement of individuals, lack of corruption practices has actually took South Africa to where it is. And they are still moving ahead. South Africa, in the same Africa we are, they are one of the best they have one of the best rugby team in the world. They have one of the best golf team in the world because their flow of economic growth cut across every field of human endeavor. So I don't know why Nigeria, it is because of too much governmental or political participation in our league and other things. I so believe that is why so many people don't want to come and involve in Nigerian football.
You know, we have the present Nigerian league, we have three teams or two teams that broke into the Nigerian league. One is Kun Khalifa FC, that is from Owerri, established in 2020, owned by Michael Amefula. Then they play their matches in Dana Yam Stadium. Then this same Remo Stars that we know, owned by Kunle Shoname, established in 2004, known as the Sky Blue Stars. They are worth, as in 2022, they are worth 1.5 million euros, Then we have Barao FC, owned by Senator Barao Jubril. That's the Deputy Senate President. And they play their matches in Dambata, Kano. And that's where their stadium is. I believe the stadium is being owned by him too. And their coach there is Rabiu Tala, and it was established in June 2024. Then, coming to compare these three teams now with that of South Africa, we have John Rupert that owns Stellenbosch FC in South Africa. They play presently in South African League. We have Patrick Mosempe, we know he's the owner of Memology Sundown. Ivan Koza that owns Orlando Pirates. Then Kaza Motang that owns Kaza's Chief. There's no way you can compare these four teams that I've mentioned that play in the PSL. And if you notice, about two of these teams that plays PSL, either two or three, plays in the CAF Champions League. It's not that the Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates have just been eliminated now. But which of these teams that I mentioned in Nigeria that plays in the CAF Champions League? Only Remo Stars, and it has been eliminated. You could see that their private investment in their league has so much improved their own football that it has taken South African football to the next level. Why we in Nigeria, we only have one team that has at least gone a step ahead, which is Remo Stars. These other ones that I mentioned, Barao FC and Kun Khalifat, they just broke into the league now. I don't even know if they're going to play in the CAF Champions League. You understand what I'm saying? So that of South Africa, they have so much involved, they have so much invested in their league. The PSL is Nedbank that sponsors it. And in a country like South Africa, that a bank sponsors their league, you know what the level should be. We have big banks in Nigeria, like Zenith Bank, UBA, Access Bank, lots of banks. Why can't they come down to sponsor our league?
That is a question mark.
You understand me? So, by so doing, comparing the days of the olden days when you had Udon United, Abiola United, Abiola Babes, Jasper United, Leventis, Iwayan National, it cannot be compared now because all these people were never given the enable environment to grow the league. Had it been these people were given a enable environment, I know the level Nigerian football would have been today. You understand what I'm saying? So that's just what is obtainable here. Because of corruption, Nigerian league or those environment, those structures was not given to these people to ply their trade on. That's just the truth.
Well, currently now in the league, we have some sponsors who are really assisting the NPFL. And then some of them are Euro Lager Beer. And then Kwara United also have a sponsor about $35,000 sponsorship
A year.
from BC Game. from a crypto company in Nigeria, at least a shared sponsor, and they are trying. And then looking at the league, NPFL, the total money,
Prize money.
the prize money is about 200 million naira. Now it has been increased to 200 million naira. Formerly, I think from 50 to 100, from 100 to 150. We have a sponsor as well, GTI, but the GTI is not a full sponsor, but they are partnering. It's a strategic partner for NPFL. And then assisting, although they have a 10-year contract with the NPFL, but they are not coming in as a sponsor, but they are just partnering in terms of supporting the NFF, the NPFL, maybe referee, sorting out referee transportation and other, making sure,
welfare.
yeah, just welfare, and then other welfare, other things, just to make sure that the league is going, which is 10 billion naira for 10 years. And then that 10 billion naira for 10 years, that means 1 year is 1 billion. No, 1 billion naira. So now, when I see the prize money, 200 million, for me, I feel like it's very, very small for a Premier League team like Nigeria that's going to play about 380 matches in a season. That 380 matches,
38 matches.
I'm talking about all the total
Okay.
matches for the whole 20 teams, which is about 380 matches in a season. Then, playing that games like that, you are dropping a prize money of 200 million because there is no much sponsor. You talk about transportation, and that was why Brian Ideye came online then, went to a podcast to talk about being paid 7,000 for feeding allowance. Imagine a matured grown-up man going to play football league, and then you are paying him 7. If that was true, if the story happened to be anything, if the story was true, then 7,000 naira in feeding money in this economy, you and I know that 7,000 naira is nothing for people who will run up and down, run 20 laps, run 10 laps on the pitch, train and all of those things. So this welfare now, I know that the club side are already they are trying to do something on their own, but because the lack of sponsor is really affecting it, so they cannot do more than their power. Now, one of those criteria now that has affected those sponsorship is the referee part of it. Now, this referee part of it, our referee are not that secured. Because why? When most of these referees go to officiate games, even their life is at stake. Their body is at stake because sometimes these referees get injured in the process of a game where the away team scored first and the match is coming to an end without the home team equalizing that game. There are many matches that we have seen that even if the referee want to end the game, the fans will have to threaten the referee that if you end this game, we are going to do this or that until the home team equalizes that game. Now, seeing this kind of thing already, there's no way sponsors can come in except the NPFL look for a way to stop this thing. And how do they look for a way to stop this thing? It is by trying to cover, because if any sponsor can come in and cover the match live, because if you are watching a match, if you are watching South African League, live coverage, if you are watching South African League now, there's no way you will see a referee being threatened. So by so doing that, you will also want to invest. So now Nigeria, if we keep hiding, apart from watching this match on NPFL TV, there's nowhere again they show Nigerian match. The next place again is Radio Nigeria. You listen to the broadcast online, commentary. That is very, very poor for a country like Nigeria. So now, the way things are going like this now, with this sponsorship of a team, because now we are lacking enough sponsor, and the NPFL chairman has been begging for sponsors. But if you are begging for sponsors to come in, you are sourcing for sponsors to come in with all the stories happening in the Nigeria. What are we going to like? If you have to advise, what is the next step that they need to do for Mr. Benga Tunde Leye to do to attract sponsors?
I don't think they will. I don't think even if we advise them, they will listen to what you have to advise. One, in Nigerian League, the rumors going around, the news going around is that the NFF itself is a corrupt body. Remember, we spoke about giving $10 million US some time ago, and 1.2 million allocated to build a stadium in Berinkembi and one in Delta State. Those things were not built. Only they went and built a shanty in Berinkembi. Where did the money go? You know the sponsors are watching. Where did this money go? So do you think if they bring their money to invest here, do you think any rightful thinking human being will want to bring his money to come and invest here and squander his money just like that? No. Nobody will want to bring. Until we start doing things right, start showing the world that when monies like this being allocated, we show the world, look at what these monies are being used for. That's when you think sponsors will start coming. You understand me? Unlike a country like South Africa, when they give them money like that, they utilize it, and sponsors will start coming. Okay, see another second. DSTV is ripping us off here in Nigeria. They're not sponsoring any league here, but they're sponsoring their own league too. DSTV is a South African company,
And they're making
a whole lot of money, increasing subscription on almost on monthly basis. But yet,
Who is the chairman CEO of Multi-Choice? Is it not our own?
he's a Nigerian. What I'm saying, he's a Nigerian. That is the Nigerian factor, the corruption factor of Nigerians. As I was saying, Canal Sports just bought a share in DSTV. Now they've started showing French league. Why can't our NFF look for a sponsor or even on their own mandate DSTV because of what they are getting in Nigeria? Because their major investment is here in Nigeria. I don't think they have DSTV in other parts of Africa. I might be wrong. You understand me? At least let them be televising Nigerian league, some key matches. Let people be watching. That will help our football to grow so much.
They have DSTV in other parts of African countries. But I've been to some of these African countries and I noticed something. There is no African country that you come to today that they don't show their local league on their TV. If it's not on DSTV, in fact, even if you go to Ghana, now, if they're not showing their match on DSTV, you will see it on their local TV. But in Nigeria here, AIT, NTA, they do so. No matter how bad this sponsor is, no matter how bad the NPFL is lacking sponsor, but I feel like there is something that these guys need to come out to explain to Nigeria, because if it is bad like that, look at a show like Big Brother Nigeria. You have a Big Brother Nigeria show that literally maybe does not even promote any good thing. It doesn't encourage any good thing in our society. Let me just put it like that. But they invest in that. Why? Because everybody is looking for where they will make money. Everybody is looking for, if they invest in this thing, they are going to get money. So now, how come Big Brother Nigeria can every year, people are anticipating to watch it. They are anticipating to sponsor. In fact, sometimes they get more than 10, 15, 20 sponsors. More than 30 sponsors. People are fighting to come and sponsor. Just a program of 3 months. But a football that is well known all over the world, that if you are sponsoring, at least you will see the impact. You can even make more money from selling of those players, from marketing every week in, week out. For complete 9 good months, football is going to be played in Nigeria. We don't see sponsors coming in like that. Is it that the people in charge of the NPFL are not negotiating well? Is it that there's some, because people like, sometimes we even spoke about Dangote trying to go and buy some shares in Arsenal. Now, the other time we were saying, okay, why didn't Dangote invest in Nigerian league? But we said it that this man might be afraid that as a businessman, if I invest in this thing, I might not see my profit. Now, Start Time was showing Nigerian league before. They have a contract about 5 years. They left. Why? They cited the reason as
no enabling
environment, and even their decoder also they were, because everybody is hoping to make money. They say, okay, after signing the contract, they were hoping that people will start buying their decoder, people will start watching stuff. But unfortunately, the league is not even boosting their own business. So, and then at the end of the day, they have to leave.
No, what happened to Start Time was that when DSTV bought the right for EPL, nobody could use Start Time again, because formerly Start Time was showing some EPL matches. But when DSTV bought the right outrightly from them, the EPL matches, so that was why Start Time,
which affected the Nigerian league also too, because as they were not making much money, of course they have to just leave, because you cannot be losing money and then you are investing money into a league. So because their aim of sponsoring was to get more customers, get more subscribers, sell their decoder.
What happened to our local televisions?
That is the challenge.
We have many NTS. We have NTS Sports. We have different NTS. Let one of these NTA channels be showing Nigerian league steadily.
Mr. Abbas,
we have STV. We have different television stations. Let one of them. Let NPFL instruct them or beg them or partner with them. At least let them be showing Nigerian league.
Now, Mr. Abbas, let me ask you now. The chairman of NPFL, his name is Otumba Gbenga Elegbeleye. if you happen to see him, or if there's a message that you can pass to him, because according to what is going on, at least he's been trying his best to source for sponsors that can come in to help this football, and then sponsor come, not that they are not sponsor, but sponsor past sponsor. You know what we mean by sponsor that will take over, that will take the league to that level that we all aspire NPFL to be on. What kind of advice, or is there something that is not doing right? That will you say the man is not doing enough, or will you say the economy of the country has tampered with his job?
Yeah, thank you. For me as an individual, I don't think I have any advice for him, because before he ever wished to become the NPFL chairman, he understands the terrain that is highly political. And he actually vouched for that position because he believed it could cause a change. You actually spoke about showing NPFL. Super Eagles matches, if a Nigerian station show it, it's either you are watching it on reverse or playback, one-sided. Super Eagles matches, so not let alone.
And it's so much.
Now you're talking about NTA showing our matches. Don't you know that media stations get their money through developing of programs? Who sponsors them? Who sponsors this particular match that want to be played for them to give us view, then make their own money in return? There are a lot of things involved in it. Are you getting the picture? So the high corruptive practices and administrative myopia is one of the issues that is putting Nigeria where it is. See, if you want to contest as an NFF president, or in short, any level in sport administration in Nigeria, you know the terrain. If you are coming, it's either you cause a change or you will be blamed for your lackadaisical performance. Because you vouch for the position, you already know the decay that is being caused in that part of sport you want to aspire for. Are you getting the picture? But I know fully well that everybody, every stakeholders, every partaker at that high level in our NFF, in the league board, they understand the political nitty-gritty involved in this thing. And if they are not being fed fat, they will not be going for second term. So if you are being blamed, the NFF president is being blamed for his shabby attitude to sport administration in Nigeria, but they still want to go for the second term. You should understand that they know what they are gaining from it. Because in the Western world, if somebody blame you for something you have done wrong, instead of you to collect more blames, you resign and you go. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So there's no advice for him. No disrespect. There's no advice for him. He knows how the league pan out. He knows South Africa exists. He knows Ghana exists. He knows so many countries exist. And he is older than me. He knows many countries, and he's been in this game of football from inception. He knows the competition Nigeria has with other African countries. Now, if he wants to write a name with that golden ink that he made a positive change while at the ends of affair in the NPFL, let him cause the change. I don't need to advise him because he knows the truth. Because all these people are not even administrators. They are politicians. To speak the fact, they are all politicians. Because I don't see a reason why Nigerian league, the giant of Africa, so to speak, in quotes, your league is not being televised on television. In a league match, if you go to the stadium, even ticket is 200 naira, people are not up to 45. Is it not a shame to them? It's a shame to them. So there's no advice for him. He knows the truth. Let him work on the truth and create and carve a niche for himself.
Yes, we'll come to the end of this show, but before we close, I feel like the NPFL need to do more, because mere looking at what is going on in Nigerian football these days, there's nothing to write home about again about Nigerian football. And then coming to South Africa, you see many advantages. The government, there's no good government in Africa, but there are fair government in Africa. South Africa have really tried in the aspect of, in their governmental area, political area in football, despite despite what they do in politics, they still make sure that things are standard. There are some things I saw in South Africa, in Sunnyside, around Pretoria. There was a day I saw a road, despite the road was okay, but the road was still, I heard something, I think Thabo Mbeki or someone, I think that was the president or so there. And then I found out that they were destroying the road. They wanted to rebuild the road. I feel like, but this road is still very, very okay or fine. What happened now? They said no, that the government came in there and they just feel like they just want to upgrade the road to be a bit higher. Then I thought of Nigeria. I feel like, can this kind of thing happen in Nigeria? Because even there are many roads in Nigeria that have not been constructed, let alone destroying the one that is okay. than them because you want to level it higher, because you feel like there's nothing more to do. Because if you have these basic amenities in your country, like light, good road, and all of those, if some governments come in, they might not really know much thing to do again. Instead, everybody will begin to look for what will make them, what will make the people feel, yes, make them relevant. God bless you. What will make them relevant? Then they begin to look for other things, even if it's to add a one coach to a road or to a building, all of those things. But yeah, that is competition. That is healthy competition. But in Nigeria, that does not have. So if people see what will benefit Nigerian football and they don't venture into it, then how come do we expect Nigerian football to grow? Because as it stands like this now, if players do not get visibility from Nigerian league, it will make players to always find a way to run away from Nigerian league, to go to place where everybody want to make a name for themselves, where they will be seen all over the world, even in Africa. That is why players in Nigeria league, one season performance, they try to go to places like Somalia, Kenya, Benin Republic, Ghana, South Africa to go and play football. Why? Because they want to be known more and more. Nobody, even when you want to even increase the salary, they don't want to stay. Because when they show your matches, you can have enough video, you can have enough evidence, then you can have some Wikipedia record. At least your statistic will be on Wikipedia because the whole world will be seeing you. Then the Super Eagles coaches as well, even the fans will relate to it. And the more you get fans, the more your page grow, and the more your fan base grow, and the more your market value grows, and the way they know, and the more they will know you all over the world. So I feel like this has already killed a lot of Nigerian players, killed a lot of talent in Nigeria. Yes, so definitely it is high time Nigeria begin to look for how to solve this problem, and then sponsors should please find a way to speak out, come in whatever condition they want. They should speak out so that we and the fans and the government and everybody can know how to, because we really need these people to come into this Nigerian football. And NTA should find a way. Most of those programs, they normally go and televise in Abuja, in Lagos, in all those places. Some programs that are not even necessarily fine, they might be making their money, but they need to come and help Nigerian football to grow.
They can't come in without sponsorship.
But this is a government television. So in one way or the other, they should be able to know what to do so that they can, at least, even if they game per week, even if it is 2 games per week, they can also start from there.
Let me tell you why they don't want to come into this. Remember, we said here that football is not a governmental, it's not
directly
owned program. You understand? That anything that has to do with football has to go through FIFA and CAF. So the government does not have any involvement in football. So when you tell them, listen, because of the current government that we have, let me tell you, once you tell them for Nigerian NTA to come and televise this thing, then they will tell you, if NTA can televise Nigerian league, that means they will be involved in the money that FIFA is giving them. That's just the truth. Right. They are not getting anything from the money the NFF is generating. So how do you expect NTA that is owned by Nigeria?
We now have Nigerian league collecting 200 million Nigerian league.
We sometimes we don't even know that the money will be complete.
Even the $35,000 that we said that Kwara United somebody is sponsoring, that money they have invested in. Now, if you go and check very well, they have invested. That money is no longer there.
So, gentlemen, we'll come to the end of this show. We'll draw the call because this is a very, very interesting topic, and we have more to say next time. Thank you.